An American drought isn't just America's problem. The effects are radiating around the world. And today we find out how much it's costing US with the release of the UN's Food and Agricultural Organization's monthly food index. After 3 months of declines, the wholesale cost of food jumped by 6% in July, thanks mainly to a surge in the cost of grains and sugars. Here at the CNN super screen, you'll show the worst US drought in half a century is affecting large swathes of the Corn Belt, damage to maize crops. So if you take a look here, you'll see the corn prices are up 23%. Now, it's the worst US drought in 50 years. 6 states have declared themselves disaster zones, and that, of course, is having the mushroom effect. It is these numbers, up 23%, that are causing the problems. And we can see that further with cereal prices, up 17%, exacerbated by Russia, where the drought there is causing concern. There may be a repeat of export controls. You'll remember Prime Minister Putin did that once before. Now there's the question of whether they would do that again. If it wasn't bad enough for corns and cereals, we also have sugar prices. They are up 12%. And the reason here, Brazil's floods and Australia, which also has a drought. That has taken the price up as well. It doesn't matter which we talk about, whether we're talking about grains, cereals, wheats. The senior economist with the UN Food and Agricultural Organization says while there's not a food crisis yet, global panic could soon bring one about.
I need a price check at self-checkout too.
Derek Clavos is a medical student on a limited budget. Staying within that budget is difficult, he says, because of rising food prices.
They're skyrocketing these days, so to cut down, I need to be buying stuff that I can cook a lot of for cheap.
But finding cheap food in the future may be an even bigger challenge. America's summer drought increased the price of corn, normally a low-cost commodity, to its highest levels ever. As one of the country's biggest cash crops, it's typically inexpensive to grow, which is why corn is the one ingredient that's in almost every food we eat. Corn and corn byproducts fill the foods that most Americans consume every day. They have names like aspartame, sorbic acid, and glucosamine, and more than 100 other ingredients that are hidden inside the packaged foods that line the shelves of most grocery stores. But it's not just packaged foods that are made from corn. Basics like milk, meat, and eggs will also see their prices rise because of the drought. It's because corn is the #1 ingredient in animal feed, critical for producing those food products. Food processors like it because it allows them to keep production costs low and profits high. That makes corn-based ingredients a fast food favorite, often in the form of high fructose corn syrup, used to sweeten everything from a hamburger patty bun to soft drinks. And that means the price of fast food could also increase within a year.
But the clock has already started for when we can start to see these high corn prices and high soy prices affect retail prices. So within about 2 to 3 months, we're expecting to start to see higher prices for a lot of animal-based products. Another 10 to 12 months after that, we expect to see the full effect of this drought work its way through the supermarket.
And because the United States is a major exporter of food and the #1 exporter of corn, those prices will rise, not just in the United States, but around the world. Kimberly Helkett, Al Jazeera.
Are you ready? Do you have what it takes to not only survive hard times, but also thrive in them? In times like these, the most valuable currency we have is food and food reserves. It is more precious than gold, oil, and cash. Food is our greatest dependency, because when you're hungry, nothing else matters. You know it, and I know it. You can't control earthquakes, floods, or the real estate meltdown. But if you have food, you have personal solutions to how these things affect you. Register right here, right now, and order your 6 free meals so you can truly discover what the currency of the future and your freedom taste like.